Welcome everybody to the March Madness Preview Show on the Grilling True Sports Network. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster, and today we're going to look at Saturday's second round matchup between the BYU Cougars and the Wisconsin Badgers. Both of these teams are high-scoring offense, two of the best offenses in the country. This promises to be a fast-paced, great basketball game. Now, if we look at the first round matchups, BYU dominated Virginia Commonwealth. A lot of people thought Virginia Commonwealth would upset BYU. I was not one of them. I think BYU is a team that is capable of making a run. They shoot the ball well. They've got some inside depth in the interior where they can play also. Now, Wisconsin is a team that has been wildly inconsistent this year. When they're on, they can beat anybody in the country. When they're off, as they were in the Big Ten tournament against Michigan, they can lose. They will struggle to score. Defensively, they're not a great basketball team. This is not the typical Bo Ryan or Greg Gard Wisconsin basketball team. This is a team that will beat you with offense. Right now, Wisconsin is favored by 1.5 over BYU. Now, in the first round, Wisconsin's game against Montana, it took them a little bit to get started. Montana stayed in the game for about a half, little over a half. Wisconsin pulled away and won 85-66. Of course, BYU played amazing towards the end of the basketball season. At the end of the Big 12 season, they won 9 straight games before running into the Houston Cougars wall during the conference tournament. It did not slow them down. They bounced back with the 80-71 win over VCU yesterday. Now, why will BYU win this game? One simple reason: size. Wisconsin's win over Montana was helped by being stronger, bigger in the interior. No one's pushing around a 6'7", 230-pound Kita or a 6'6", 250-pound Traore. And yes, I probably pronounced both of those names wrong. And you can bitch at me in the comments if you want, but I really don't give a shit. All right. I'm not great with pronouncing names, especially foreign names. Now, this is a BYU team that blasts away inside. They take and make the threes that are there. They're really good at kicking the ball out, hitting a spot up shot. It was number one in the Big 12 in both attempts and made threes. Combine that with second chance points, the ability to create points in a hurry off of, interior plays, and this bunch can keep pace offensively with anybody in the country. Why would Wisconsin win? Well, the Badgers have to find the defensive intensity here in a hurry. They have it. Sometimes you see it, but they're making sure the offense gets into the flow and the threes drop. They need John Tanya to basically play the way he did most of the season. His last few games have not been that great. Now, after doing everything right inside against VCU, BYU is 20-0 when making 48% or more of their shots, 24-2 when making 44% or more. Only 8 teams were able to get to 48% on the Badger defense that allows teams to hit 41% from the floor. Now, as I said, Wisconsin is spotty defensively. Some games they're great. I mean, the Michigan loss in the Big Ten championship game, their offense didn't kick in, but the defense kept them in the game. They lose 59-53. The problem is they're not consistent like Wisconsin teams of old on the defensive end. Now, Wisconsin wants to make this a free throw shooting contest late. BYU could shoot, but it's not great at the line, at least not as great as the Badgers. Wisconsin's number one in the nation. Who makes the threes? I think both teams will. But I think BYU will do more on the inside, especially during the lulls when the Badgers' outside shots aren't falling. Now, who did Wisconsin have problems with in the Big Ten? It went 0-10 against a big Michigan team. I think this will be a bit like that, only with BYU scoring the ball more. Right now, Wisconsin's favored by 1.5. Well, I will ignore the 1.5, and I'm going to bet BYU to win this game straight up on the money line. I think the interior will be the defense or the difference in this game. I think also John Tanya worries me because he has not played, or John Tanya, he has not played that well the last few games. The only way Wisconsin wins this game is if he goes off. BYU is the better basketball team. BYU wins this game, guys. If you want to bet this game, go to the top sports book for betting this game or any game BetMGM. You click on the link in the description down below if you're watching on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification on YouTube. Follow me on X at Grueling Truth. But for now, guys, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.